All right, good morning. I'm Aaron Heiser, Maker's Leather Supply, and today's little video is very important. Excuse me. When one of the things people struggle with is making belts, and it doesn't seem like it would be something to struggle with because it's such a simple thing: strap of leather with a buckle on it, some holes on the other end. But measuring is difficult. Okay. You can make a belt and it'll probably fit the person you're going to fit it, but will it fit them right? And will it look right? And will it be the professional results that you want? So, I'm going to help you with that a little bit, as much as I can, okay? One thing I learned when I made one of my very first custom belts is when they tell you they are a size 36, that means nothing to you as a belt maker. Nothing at all. It means you will make them a belt that will not fit. So, when a customer orders a belt, if they were in the shop, I had them try on the measuring belt. What's a measuring belt? I'm glad you asked. So I just made myself a new one today, and that's what brought me to even do this video. This is my measuring belt. It is probably 80 inches long. Somewhere between 70 and 80. It is super long, okay? Really big belt here. All right? And starting at about a foot from where the buckle's not even on it yet, brand new. From about a foot from where the buckle is, I start the holes. And I put them every 3/4 of an inch. That's a little excessive. You can do them every inch or so if you want. But anyway, I have holes, and they all have numbers. That number is not a measurement. It's not like hole number 10 is 10 inches, okay? It's an arbitrary number under each hole. They are sequential, of course, all right? So that when someone tries this belt on, all I have to do is look at what number the buckle is in, and boom, there's my center hole on my new belt, okay? So, the great thing about making a measuring belt is, depending on how thick you make a belt, it'll actually either go further or less far around someone's waist. A thin belt will go further around someone's waist than a thick belt will. It's physics. Look it up. But I make a measuring belt the same thickness as a normal belt that I would make. This is a 8 to 10 ounce piece of bridle and then a 2 to 3 ounce liner right here. So we got a 12, 13 ounce-ish belt. Okay? So that helps to keep the measurement accurate once they've tried it on and once they found their number. Okay, if it's the same thickness as the belt you're going to make them, then you don't need to adjust anything. If you just took a sewing tape measure and wrapped around their waist and wrote down the measurement, well then you'd better add up to 2 inches probably for the thickness of the belt, if you want to get it right. Now, what do we do with that measurement? First off, if the customer has a belt buckle, you can put it on your measuring belt. A lot of people that want a nice, expensive, custom-made belt, they already have a buckle. And so that's great. Tell them to bring their buckle when they come to try on the measuring belt. Okay? And then you're going to measure it to the hole that the tongue of the buckle goes into. All right? Now, again, what do we do with that measurement? So what we're going to do is that measurement, okay, let's say it's hole number 38 and that's 42 inches. On the belt we're going to make, that will be the center of either 5 to 7 holes. That's the average, 5 to 7 holes. I like to only do 5 because it says, hey, this was a custom made belt. It's not necessarily one size fits all, okay? But 7 is sometimes better, especially if you're making a kid's belt or something like that. But anyway, so that's going to go there. I did a whole video on the anatomy of a belt. This is kind of a short version of that, I guess you can say. But when you are measuring out your belt, okay, from either the fold over or the buckle, if that was, if their buckle was on here, you measure out where your center hole will be on your belt. And then 7 inches past that is the tip of the belt. Lop it off. Okay? And then again, normally on my belts, the holes would be probably spaced like an inch apart. So that center hole, now you're going to go 2 inches this way and 2 inches that way from that center hole, punching more holes. Okay, that is using the measuring belt. Now, Aaron, this lady called me and she wants me to make her a belt for her husband, and she doesn't know what his size is. Happens all the time, okay? I get it. Not everybody is a local customer. Not everybody can come in. Not everybody can try your measuring belt on. So I'm going to pull my belt off for this, okay? I'm sitting so my pants won't fall. All right, first and foremost, I love my belt buckle. But, okay, when we have someone that wants to order a custom belt and they're like, oh, I don't know what size he is, what size they are, whatever. I tell them, do they already wear a belt? And the answer is 99.9% of the time going to be yes. Awesome. Measure that belt, okay? Measure that belt from where it folds over right here, okay? Don't measure it from the buckle, but from where it folds over right here, all the way over to the notch that you can tell they use the most. There's my notch right there. It's almost time to poke some more skinny holes in this belt, okay? And then the other thing you have to worry about, see that belt? I'm a fat guy. It happens. All right, see how it's bowed in the middle there? That's because when I sit down, my pants pull down in the back just like everybody else. But being a bigger guy, they pull down probably a little harder than everybody else's. So, when they measure that belt, they need to pull it tight and get rid of the bow. Okay? Very important, because there could be a lot of measurement dropped into that bow right there, and if they're just kind of measuring straight across, you're not going to have a good measurement. So once again, they're going to measure from the fold over to the notch that gets used the most. And then again, that measurement is going to be the center hole on the new belt you make them. Now, if what they measured was a cheaply made store-bought belt that's probably only 7 ounces worth of leather thick and probably not even real leather, then you're going to want to add about 1 inch to 1.5 inches depending on how big they are. I mean, if they're real small, 30 inches or so, I wouldn't really worry about adding more than 1 inch. But if they're bigger, then I'd go up to about 1.5 inches before I made that center hole measurement. Okay? The center hole measurement is important because you want, when they put it on, you want that to be the hole they're already using. And that way they've got some winter room and some summer room. Okay? It's the polite way to say fat and skinny room. Okay? So, I really hope that wasn't very confusing. I hope it made sense. And most importantly, I really hope that it helped somebody to be able to gauge how to make the belt and size the belt for someone they need to make one for. So, until next time, I'm Aaron Heiser of Maker's Leather Supply. Have a great day.